is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal and the vertical. We can deluge you with 1,000 channels or expand one single image to crystal clarity and beyond. We can shape your vision to anything our imagination can conceive. For the next hour, we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the deepest inner mind to the outer limits. In the face of violent crime, the thin line between justice and vengeance can grow ever thinner. But what happens when society becomes as violent as the criminals it seeks to contain?
How's my hair? It's gorgeous. Thank you.
Then why are you doing it?
I don't have much of a choice.
No, please. Please, no.
To those who would corrupt the search for truth, be warned. The sword of justice cuts both ways. From muskets to six guns to assault weapons, the pages of our history run red with blood. But which came first? The violent impulse or the weapon which answers its call?
Good. Rolling.
You got anything that packs more of a wallop?
Well, I may be wrong, but I think I've got just what you're looking for.
The path to our own destruction may lie less in the weapons we conceive than the violence in our hearts. It is said that man is created in God's image. But what happens when we alter that image? Is our reflection the only thing that changes?
Oh my gosh, this is amazing!
So, is this great or what?
No, hi. Great is not the word. Could you, turn around again? So yummy.
In an age when we are led to believe that we can be anything we want to be, what most eludes us is simply being ourselves. Human history is marked by our desire to expand our boundaries. But what happens when our reach exceeds our grasp?
It's been about half an hour since we discovered engineering. So far, the only sign of the Rissos 35-person crew. The remains are so small that only a DNA analysis will be able to accurately determine exactly how many people actually died in that room. Whether it was an accident or an act of violence is also unclear. There's no detonation device nor residue that would suggest an explosion.
Not quite what you expected when you signed on to Terraform Tryon, huh, Doc?
Don't touch anything on this ship. Don't touch it. The Tryonids are here. They're waiting. They're waiting to run.
Stop there. Lieutenant, have we?
Sir, we've already downloaded everything from the Rissos to Earth.
No.
Ultimately, our survival may depend less on our ability to overcome our enemies than the weakness of our own character. Nothing in our world is more unyielding than the inexorable march of time. But what will happen when man finds a way to manipulate that awesome force?
Susan?
We have always struggled to control our destiny. But even when we think we've succeeded, fate may have the final word. It is said that what we behold with our eyes is merely the surface of reality. But if we could see beneath that facade, what would lie within?
Come in. Louise, I was hoping it was you. I tell you.
Remember, you promised no more jokes about a sight for sore eyes.
Of all the gifts his maker has bestowed upon man, none is more precious than his ability to love another. Who we are and what we will become are determined by our actions. But are those actions planting the seeds of our salvation or destruction?
Throughout the weekend with no let-up in sight. Today's weather brought to you by Macro Seed. Working
Let us always remember, as we sow, so shall we reap. There is no greater tragedy for a parent than the loss of a child. But when does grief become obsession?
Yeah.
The one you love.
I want Eddie.
Good.
When we endeavor to fill a terrible void, sometimes the void can consume us. To sleep, perchance to dream. But what happens when the dream is to never sleep again?
I don't think anyone's going to be too anxious to repeat the same mistakes. All these years, they've taken half our lives.
Well, maybe that's the price we had to pay so that it doesn't happen again.
The price of freedom.
Unless humankind awakens to the need to preserve its future, it may one day find itself asleep for eternity. In an age of doubt, there is nothing more powerful than the need to seek answers. But what happens when the cloak is lifted and those answers suddenly revealed?
I hope I haven't just made a mistake showing this to you.
No one will ever believe a word they say ever again.
Even when they're ready.
I believe.
Sometimes the best way to hide the truth is to keep it in plain sight. Within each of us, there is an internal voice that tempers our actions. But what happens when that inner self overwhelms the face we show the world?
Good morning. How are you feeling?
Like an idiot.
There's something different about you.
What?
Tinted contacts, right? Oh, I like it. Very sexy.
Thanks. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Without darkness, there would be no light. Without error, no sure path to the truth. In a world where absolutes reign, what may be most important is finding the balance. Humanity defines itself by the capacity to think and feel. But what happens when a machine attains the same abilities.
After the auto shutdown command failed, we immediately dispatched the response and recovery team. They subdued and powered down the unit for transport in record time, I might add.
So then why the hell is he screaming his head off?
It's been reactivated so we can run a thorough diagnostic.
If we choose to give birth to a thinking machine, we must be prepared for the day when our progeny will demand independence. We live in an egocentric age where many of us believe we are the sun in our own universe. But what happens when these illusions collide with reality?
McKenna, sir.
Yeah.
No idea is so strong it should not be tested by doubt, and no man so powerful that he is infallible. Who among us does not think he knows evil when he sees it? But are such distinctions really so black and white, or is morality simply a matter of perspective?
How was I supposed to know the guy was alive? I read the same history books you did, right? They convicted him, they execute him, they sent him on his way.
Virgil Nygaard did not die in vain.
Powerful ideas do not die with those who gave them birth, so long as the seeds of those ideas are planted in their followers. Technology is designed to serve us, to ease our burdens. But will our machines become so sophisticated that it is we who do the serving?
Thanks. I'm dying.
When the human mind is made obsolete by advancing technology, the soul may not be far behind. Faith is the bedrock of our religious beliefs. But what happens when that foundation is shaken to its core?
Now that is A1 prime old-time religion in its best.
Oh, well, it's prime A1 something, but I don't know if you could call it.
Seeking you shall find. Let's go see this thing.
Blind faith can lead us toward the light, or plunge us into eternal darkness. It is said that great conflicts are not settled by words, but by iron and blood. But what if we could revisit those decisions? Would we still surrender to violence?
Tell me that guy didn't really die.
I'm Colonel Devine of the Confederate States of America. I shot Lincoln!
President is down! And repeat, the president is down!
You will remember me! You will remember me!
Despite everything we do, we may never free ourselves from the bonds of fate.
The
time we are children, we are taught to mistrust strangers. But are we always as wary as we encourage them to be?
That guy creeps me out.
Why? He seems very nice.
Well, luckily, I've got a new partner.
As long as an enemy is judged solely by his appearance, his victory is assured. As we surrender more authority to our ever more capable technology, what will happen when that technology goes awry?
Now, what's going on, Alan? All we know for sure is that the building was taken over by a Refusenet group calling itself the Syndrome.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In the end, it may be our certainty that we are infallible, which will prove our downfall. Physical scars are evidence of a wound long since healed. But what about the wounds we can't see? What is left behind when there is trauma to the soul?
And this is the illustrious recreation area, complete with Eskimo art, outdated magazines, and stale popcorn smoke.
The suffering we conceal and the sorrow we hide may only be fully understood by those who share a common pain. What will become of a world that outlaws the very tools it has always looked to for solutions?
Bailiffs, stand down.
It's a bomb. No. Technically, it's not a bomb. It's a cold fusion device. And I strongly advise that you listen to what I have to say. Otherwise, I may just have to set it off. And then you can say goodbye to this courtroom, this city, and what? Maybe half the eastern seaboard?
How is the world to survive once technology makes possible the day when one man holds our fate in his hands?
Now, I'm sure that all the members of the gallery will spread the word when I tell you that there's a second bomb secreted somewhere out there.
I would like to propose a toast to the future. Beware of false gods, false promises, but most of all, beware of me.
If we fail to be vigilant, we may find that the same miracles which define our greatness as a species will one day spell our doom.